definitely do.
None of our business, but I don't know.
I like dissociate anytime anything like that happened. It's like I'm not even in my body. I wasn't in my body for those things. It was just like an out of body experience. I don't know how to describe it.
Well, it doesn't sound like it happened in a normal, natural way. You know, both people wanting it, ready for it, and so on.
I mean, it was consensual. That's what you.
No, not well. Anyone can say yes. You know, doesn't mean that they want it.
Mm-hmm.
My first time was fucking hilarious. I was like, I'd built up so much fucking anticipation, and then like, it wasn't like most people say like, oh, you pop so fast, but it was more like, okay, so that was it. The hype of sex was this it. You know, yeah, but you know, like many people do that. You know, they have so much expectation of it, and then it's just like, for me, it was like I was thinking maybe, oh, as soon as I stick my penis in there, it's gonna be like, oh, heaven, and it sort of was, but it wasn't like heaven. It was just nice. All the fucking teenage expectations. So disappointed.
I remember I didn't expect much, but it turned out great.
I think that's the best way to go at it, actually.
Feedback.
You don't have to nap. Fortfarande Gud. Attans bananer. What's up, Edge? So am I. Do something. Sort of, okay. Like an entertainment show. Just like, oh, you need to be fucking entertain me now. Oh, fucking, I can't entertain you. I can fucking barely entertain myself. You gotta give me something, man. You gotta supply it. You gotta fuel my any. Of course, I like being the center of attention. It's not like I. Whatever they say. It's not like the ESFP way where I'm just sort of forcing myself into the center. But if I happen to be the center of attention, I don't mind it. And I know also I have a lot of interesting stories and I know a lot of interesting bullshit. So doesn't that go for everyone though? No, it doesn't. Some people don't like the center of attention. But it totally depends on the group. Like in some groups, some people just try to be sort of the center of attention and they talk some gibberish about stuff I don't really care about. Or if I'm in a bigger group, I'm usually more of an introvert. But if I hang out with many more introverted people, I'm always almost always in the center of attention. But on a party, for example, oh fuck no.
What happened? He disappeared.
Susie,
Maybe
I
his
don't know.
computer died.
Huh?
What happened there? Yeah.
Cool.
Did you hear us talking shit? I don't mind that. No, I was just gonna say, I don't mind that when the ENTPs talk excessively, like it's whatever. But a lot of times I've noticed if there's multiple ENTPs in the room, all they talk about is the positive aspects of being ENTP, and then it gets a little boring. I'm like, okay, we get it. You like your type.
That's
You enjoy
so
being
true.
you enjoy being ENTP. It gets really boring. Like I see them like masturbating themselves all the time, and it's ridiculous. It's pathetic and immature and ridiculous and laughable. Well, you talk about being an ENTP in like an intellectual way, but I see a lot of ENTPs not talking about it in a very intellectual way. They just talk about all the things they're good at. But you always are like, well, we do this because of this function or because of this, and you go into depth, but they're not really that introspective, it seems. Well, I'm being honest. If you weren't like that, I would totally tell you. I think you talk about yourself in a really dumb way. I don't like compliments either, honestly. I mean, I don't know what to do with it because I always think they're dishonest, but mhm. Maybe that's where Polar FI comes in, is that basically ENTPs just aren't that introspective. So I don't know. It's like they can have depth of thought and complex thought relating to concepts, but in relation to themselves, they really can't like analyze themselves kind of in a really meaningful way. I've noticed for the most part, like you're good at it, and there's a few ENTPs who are, but for the most part, they lack. It seems like they lack depth. But and INFJs are super introspective and contemplation. Yeah, I do. Hmm.